Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we are responding to a video of a guy claiming that Doom Eternal is the worst Doom game. How? Because it has platforming sections, and I guess it doesn't feel like the older games. So basically, it's bad because it's different. So, yeah, let's get into this.
Now I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this video, but I really wanted to make this video because I'm a huge Doom fan. I've been playing Doom since the original 1993 version of Doom back on the PC, and it blew my mind back then. I loved it and I played it daily. And I've actually loved every Doom game, every major Doom game release since then. Doom 2, Doom 3, Doom 64, even Doom 2016 I really enjoyed. Back in the day, I actually used to build deathmatch maps for the original Doom and Doom 2, and we played it all the time at my house. We had 3 PCs networked together, and we played 3-player death matches, which was insane back then because this predated Ethernet or Wi-Fi, and it was just so awesome to be playing a first-person shooter from 3 different vantage points, 3 different players fighting each other. It was insane. But for this video, I'm going to point out what they did wrong with Doom Eternal and what they can change to make the next Doom game really great and bring it back to what made Doom so great to begin with. Whenever I think about Doom and the fundamentals of it and what makes it so great, I don't think about things like double jumping and air dashing and climbing up on walls and swimming underwater. None of that stuff sounds like Doom to me.
What's wrong with double jump and air dashes? They just add to the mobility and make the mobility more fun and combat more engaging. I don't. What's the problem with them? The platforming sections, they're just there for pacing, so you have a moment to breathe in between combat encounters. That's all they're there for, and a little bit of exploration. It's not that big of a deal.
And unfortunately, all that stuff that I just mentioned is very prevalent in Doom Eternal. It was prevalent back on the 2016 version of Doom, which was a good game, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is in Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal feels like a Metroid Prime game, a linear Metroid Prime game. It even looks similar with all the platforming and the exploration. It basically feels like Metroid Prime with up-close violent kills. And
What? I never played a Metroid Prime game, but I have seen gameplay. Dude, it plays nothing like Doom Eternal. Things that Metroid Prime and Doom Eternal have in common: platforming, and they're both first person. The similarities pretty much start and end there. Like, combat wise, it's completely different. Like, come on, man. You gotta come up with something a little bit better than it's a linear Metroid Prime game.
to me, the weapons don't feel like they have a lot of kick to them. Like whenever you're playing with the super shotgun in Doom or Doom 2, you can really feel it. Like you shoot that weapon and you just mow down a line of enemies right away. It's totally insane and it feels great. In Doom Eternal, the enemies are basically like bullet sponges. You can just empty out your entire arsenal at them and they'll still be standing. And that's going to happen a lot. You're going to run out of ammo all the friggin' time in this game, and that drives me crazy.
I don't know what you want me to say to this. How doesn't the super shotgun feel powerful? Like any weaker demon, it one shots. Only thing it doesn't like one shot are like the bigger and stronger demons, in which case it still deals with them fairly quickly. I don't see your problem here. As for the ammo thing, dude, ammo management is a thing you have to learn in this game. It's part of the learning curve. You need to learn how to manage your ammo properly. Like it's a mechanic you have to learn.
I think I have the low ammo warning permanently burned into my plasma screen from playing Doom Eternal. Later on in that game, you're going to be running around these arenas, fighting groups of enemies, and you're basically just doing whatever damage you can, and then you're going to be spending the rest of your time running around trying to get your health back, your armor back, and some ammo back, and then continuing to fight off the hordes of monsters. And it's just rinse and repeat over and over again until you reach the end of it. And it's quite annoying, and I dislike it.
Then why did you buy an arena shooter? Like it's an arena shooter. No doubt you're gonna be going from arena to arena fighting off enemies. Have you played an arena shooter before? Genuine question.
The level design isn't anything like the previous Doom games. So in Doom and Doom 2, even Doom 3, there's a lot of memorizing the level so that you can go to certain points pretty quickly. In Doom Eternal, everything's broken up into combat sections, and then you have the exploration section where you're doing the platforming and looking around for the next lever to hit or something like that. And then you go to another encounter, another combat encounter. and it's just over and over and over again. I found the combat itself to be very monotonous, very boring, and it was more of a chore to play than anything else.
This is similar to what Under the Mayo said about Arkham Knight. Dude, like, I don't like criticizing people calling something boring because what's boring is subjective, but you said you liked Doom 2016. Doom Eternal's like combat loop is like at its core is literally like it's basically Doom 2016 turned up to 11 with more depth to it. If you liked Doom 2016, how do you not like Doom Eternal's combat loop at all? How do you find it boring? I don't understand. Like genuinely, I don't get it.
And look at this guy. Look at this. I'm punching this guy like nonstop. Don't ever get into a fist fight with this guy. He will beat your ass every time. So the Doom guy can like rip people's jaws off and rip off their horns, but he can't win a one-on-one fight against this guy. Look at him. He can take a hit. Come on. He's gotta die one day, right? Right? It's the Doom guy. The Doom guy. Oh, nope. Owned.
The punch is weaker in this game because it incentivizes you to charge up your blood punch. What? This is such a nitpick.
And a lot of the enemies just feel cheap to play against, and it's a lot of trial and error to figure out what the best strategy is to defeat these guys. And it was more annoying than anything else. I just couldn't get into it. Despite having played through the entire game, I just couldn't get into it the entire time. I'm like waiting for it to get fun, and it never happens. I mean, it's not all bad. The graphics are great. The music is fantastic. Thanks, Mick Gordon. But
well, at least that's one thing we can agree on. The game looks and sounds amazing.
other than that, I don't like anything about it. It just doesn't feel like a Doom game. It's not a terrible game per se on its own, but it doesn't feel like a Doom game. I don't feel like it does the legacy of Doom very good justice.
How doesn't it do the legacy of Doom justice? How?
I think that it's a missed opportunity at best. Okay, so here's my proposal. This is what I'm gonna tell to Microsoft, because Microsoft, as everybody knows now, owns Bethesda, which owns id Software, which owns Doom. So the whole Doom franchise is now under Microsoft's umbrella. In future, releases are probably going to be on PC and Xbox only. But here's what I would suggest to them to make the next Doom game a true winner and legendary and worthy of the Doom name. Okay, so two things right off the bat. First thing is they gotta bring back the 4-player co-op campaign. Nothing is more fun than playing with a group of friends, going through the campaign together and just mowing down enemies, okay? That's number one. Number two, don't invest so much time into telling the story. I think in Doom Eternal they had like these priests you had to go and kill so that they couldn't complete whatever ritual they were trying to do to make something bad happen. I honestly don't know because I didn't pay attention to the storyline because it was very uninteresting. They have a bunch of like weird names and I don't care. I just want to get to the action.
Adding a 4-player co-op campaign would be cool, and if you don't care about the story, then you don't care and just skip the cutscenes. They're skippable for a reason. Like, so I don't see what your problem is here. You don't like the story, skip all the cutscenes. Who cares?
In the original Doom storyline, it was just, you know, they have some experimental teleportation technology and they bring something from hell. Hell breaks loose and demons come through on the base of Mars, which is a cool storyline, and that's really all you need to get into the action and understand what's happening. With Doom Eternal, they try to fill it with all these like crazy characters and like otherworldly populations and just like all this other crap that like no one cares about. I certainly didn't care about it.
I mean, like, the reason why they go more in depth with the story in Doom Eternal is because they wanted to flesh out the lore more. But I mean, if you don't care about it, then skip all the cutscenes. It's skippable for a reason. But saying that not everyone cares about the lore and story of Doom when there are little lore videos explaining it all is definitely a little bit crazy.
And it didn't help me enjoy the game at all. In fact, it detracted from it. I'm like, let's just get over with. I ended up skipping most of the cutscenes because they were just so bland. Anyways, back to the suggestions. So the next thing I have is to give players a true map editor, not SnapMap. That was one of the things that I was looking forward to with 2016 Doom was SnapMap. You could build your own maps and you can share them online. I thought this is great because I built a ton of maps back in the day and I built a lot of tracks for the Trials series, so that was like, that spoke to me directly. I'm like, let's do this, I'm ready. But SnapMap was a very, very lame, very bland, editor. You just have like pre-made sections that you could like piece together like Lego blocks and then put it online. It was very dull, very stupid. So instead of trying to improve on that and make it good for Doom Eternal, they just cut it out entirely. They're like, screw it, forget it. No one's gonna want to do that anyway. But if they invested the time and the effort to give players a true, robust map editor so they can make their own campaign levels or even deathmatch levels, and a good sharing system, kind of like Mario Maker 2, just put it online, let people be able to find your stuff easily, that would just be incredible. Why haven't they done that yet? It's the 21st century. Let's go ahead and do this.
They actually did kind of implement this in Doom the Dark Ages with the whole Repertorium mode, I think it's called. I don't know how you pronounce it. But they did kind of add this, not to the same extent, like you can't literally create your own arenas or whatever, but you can customize them and whatnot. And it's pretty nice, I must say. But yeah, they did kind of implement this idea, which I think is pretty fun.
Okay, so anyways, back to my suggestions on the next Doom game. Besides the co-op in the campaign and the level editor, they need to change the combat system entirely. Bring it back to the original Doom. I feel like in Doom Eternal, they spent too much time trying to make the combat revolve around jumping from one glory kill to the next, to the next, to the next, in order to get your armor and your health back and your...
Glory kills aren't the only way to kill demons in Doom Eternal, though. Like, you don't need to glory kill every single enemy. Like, there are plenty of other ways to take them out. What are you talking about?
Or ammo back, and it's like, Doom isn't about that. Isn't about figuring out which method do I use to kill my enemy so that he drops the thing that I need.
As far as I'm aware, there's always been like a best way to go about taking out certain enemies in order to conserve ammo. Like, the term Doom Dance is a thing for a reason. I don't see a problem with it. Like, it requires more strategy and it makes the combat system more in depth. Why is that an issue?
I dislike that very much personally. I suggest that they give you all the tools you need to deal with the encounters, all the ammo you're going to need, and I have a radical suggestion. Here we go. I suggest that they take the level, the environment complexity down, and the enemy complexity down, like lower the polygon count a little bit, because in Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, there's very few instances where you have more than like 6 enemies on the screen at once, 6, 7, 8 maybe at the most. I think they should bump it up to like 100 enemies on the screen at once. Just make it totally insane, filled with enemies, imps, and soldiers, and whoever else they can throw in there. But make...
Well, you certainly got your wish with Doom the Dark Ages. There's tons of enemies on the screen at once in that game, and they didn't have to lower the polygon counts, at least as far as I'm aware. So it's a win-win in that case, but then again, I guess you also don't like how much Doom Eternal went into its story, and Doom the Dark Ages goes even further with it, so I'm not entirely sure if you'd like that game anyway.
The enemies easier to kill and slower, so that way you're not completely overwhelmed right away. You can see them coming, you know they're coming, and you can start preparing for it right away. Like, imagine a crowd of demons heading your way, and then you bust out your super shotgun and blow, blast like 10 of them down. That'd be insane. That'd be so cool to watch, just like mow them down. And utilizing weapons like the BFG 9000 would be more satisfying than ever. I also don't like how in Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, the enemies just disappear. You like kill them and then they drop these little glowing things that you pick up and then that's it. It's like you do this massive encounter, this massive combat section, and then you come back to it a minute later and it's like it never happened. Everything's clean as a whistle.
Wow, that would be cool. I can also see why they don't do that, even in Doom the Dark Ages. Because I can see how that would impact performance, and also it could get into a thing with like issue with like what is it called, entity cramming, I'm pretty sure it's called. So yeah, I can see why they wouldn't do it. It just probably wouldn't be best on the technical side of things. Like, and I would much rather have a smoother gameplay experience than being able to see demon bodies on the ground. But yeah, it would be cool, but I can see why they don't do that.
Leaving the demon bodies on the ground, that'd be cool, just to let them just pile up. I don't want to see the floor when I'm done. I just want to be like, yep, I caused this. The original Doom game was super controversial with its level of violence. There was like guys impaled and there was like body parts hanging from the ceiling, and you blew up the enemies and they were just like steaming piles of meat that remained there for the rest of the level. So I think they should do that again with the new Doom game.
The modern Doom games are still really violent though. Have you seen some of these glory kills? And some of the death animations, dude, it gets pretty freaking brutal. The only thing the older games have over, I guess, in terms of like violence and gore, is that you can see the demons' dead bodies for the entire level. But like, with like the animations, like the death animations and whatnot, they're way more violent than the originals.
You just make it to where you eliminate an enemy and they just remain there, and you can just kick them around, like apply physics to them so that you can shoot them with a shotgun and they go flying again. That'd be cool and fun as well, especially when you have 4 people all going crazy with the crowds of demons approaching you. How cool would that be? Make shooting and the combat the core of Doom once again. Not the exploration, not swimming underwater, not doing parkour.
The shooting and the combat is still the core of the gameplay loop in Doom Eternal. Like, dude, the parkour sections are only there to give you a moment to breathe. They do not take up most of the game. What you're going to be doing throughout most of the game in Doom Eternal is killing demons. Like, the thing you want fixed doesn't even need to be fixing. The core of the gameplay is still the combat.
That's not what Doom is about. Bring back the fun. That's my suggestion. Bring back the fun. Make the core experience as awesome as it can be, and just improve on that. And I was talking about this subject to some other people on my social media accounts, and I found that other people were having a very similar experience. They're like, I played it, but it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like Doom. Or one guy even played 2 hours of it and then just like stopped playing. He's like, I just couldn't get into it, so we just stopped playing. And I was the same way. I played about 2 hours and I'm like, this is just not fun. I'm not having any fun. That's the problem. I'm just not having any fun. So I just friggin' uninstalled it. I'm like, I dislike this game. This is the only Doom game that I've ever played that I just don't like. And I uninstalled it, and I just didn't touch it again for months until I recently reinstalled it, trying to give it a second try, because I really, really, really wanted to like this game. I really did. I wanted to so bad, but I just couldn't do it. I played through the rest of the game, waiting for it to get good, and I never liked it. It was never good for me. I'm sure some people out there love it, but for me personally, coming from an old school Doom fan standpoint, I just couldn't get into it at all, and I wish they had done something different. But now Microsoft has the opportunity to do something different. Now that they own the Doom franchise, they can really kick it up a notch and make it a true Xbox Series X system seller. Alright, so this video went on way too long, and I apologize for that. I just wanted to make a few quick points because I really wanted to like Doom Eternal, okay? I really did.
Okay, and that was the end of his video. Yeah, I disagree with him on a lot of his takes, but with that being said, make sure don't send any hate to this guy because obviously, we're talking about video games at the end of the day, so no reason to go send hate to anyone. And see you guys next time. Peace.